Hi guys, it's Leah. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new, and welcome to my favourite video to film every month where my TBR jar is picking what I read in May. We know the drill by now. I cannot believe that we are already in May. I am very much in that mood where I want to read anything and everything. I just want to read every single genre, so I'm so excited to see what books I'm going to be reading in the next month. I think for this one I want to pick 7 prompts. I feel like that is a good number for all of the videos that I have planned throughout the month. Honestly, let's just get straight into it because I'm so excited. Let's shake her up as always, and let's see what the first prompt is. Okay, the first prompt, as always, I am going to try and show you guys first. We'll go with this one. Wait, there's 2. Oh my, do I go left or right? Let's go left. Here is the prompt. Hopefully you can see that right. It is blurbed by my favourite author. I feel like this could be quite hard. Obviously, respectfully, my favourite author of all time is Clarice Lispector. Babe, she's dead. I can't imagine that she blurbed any of these books, so we're just going to do any author who I have adored / have rated 5 stars. Blurbed by one of my favourite authors. Maybe, we'll go with one of these. Maybe Great Big Beautiful Life. I feel like Emily Henry and books like this always have tons of authors blurbing it and like marketing it. Okay, yeah, actually. B. Schwab on the back, but Emily Henry's books are a gift. The prose is effortless, the character's charming, the only downside is reaching the end. And V. Schwab I absolutely adore. That is honestly kind of perfect. I knew that I definitely wanted to add this onto my May TBR, so honestly I'm not even going to look for another option. We're just going to go straight off of the bat for Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I'm so excited to get to this, although I've heard very mixed things and I'm also simultaneously quite terrified. I absolutely adore Emily Henry. I've read every single romance she has published so far, obviously other than this one, and I knew it was just one that I wanted to get to soon anyway. I feel like everyone's going to be talking about it. Apparently for better or for worse. I'm really intrigued to see how I fall on this. I'm really hoping I love it. I was anticipating and I am going into it expecting to love it. However, all of the reviews are definitely making me a little bit more nervous, but I feel like if I think like that, I am going to put this off forever and I'm just going to be too scared that I'm going to dislike it. So I'm just going to get to it right now. For a book blurbed by one of my favourite authors, we're going to go for Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. On to prompt 2. Let's pick. We'll go for this one here. Here is the prompt. Again, hopefully it isn't upside down. It is a hardback. I could have picked the Emily Henry for that. Oh my god, actually wait, that works out perfectly because another book that I wanted to get to so bad in May was The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. Not to speak too soon or to jinx it, but I feel like this potentially could be one of the easiest TBR jar videos I've ever done because both of these books I really desperately wanted to get to, so I think we're just gonna pick The Conditions of Will. I know not that many people adored Never by Jessa Hastings, which was obviously one of her most recent releases. However, I'm never gonna get to that series. It's not really for me, but I've seen so many people comparing this to the Magnolia Park series. I've seen a spoiler for it too, which is super annoying. I don't think it's actually really anything all that drastic, which is perfectly fine. I think it just shows a way that it somewhat links to the Magnolia Park series, and I'm just so excited about it. I also love these covers. I think this book just looks so beautiful, and like I said, I've seen the best things about it. I've seen so many people who have rated Magnolia Park's 5 stars also rate this 5 stars. I am so excited to get into it. Like I said, I feel like I'm gonna fall in love with it like everyone else. So the book for a hardback is just gonna be The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. I'm already thrilled with just these 2 picks. For the third prompt, let's go for, okay, one fell out. We'll go for the one that fell out. We'll put it up to fate. Here is the prompt. It is a foiled cover. I think we had that one last month. I said last month too that I feel like a lot of the fantasy books on my TBR have foiled covers. I feel like romances and fiction don't really tend to steer that way in terms of cover design. The one that is the most obviously foiled on my TBR card is Ascension by S.T. Gibson. Look at how beautiful that foiling and just this cover is in general. One thing about me, I love S.T. Gibson's fantasy so much. I think I've read all of them. If not, I've definitely read the majority of them. And I have been adoring the series, the Evocation series. It is so beautiful. I love all of the characters. I just think the way that S.T. Gibson writes characters and simultaneously settings are so beautiful and so atmospheric and so perfect for autumn. However, this is being published in July. I cannot believe that I have my hands on a proof copy. I love this author so much, so it actually fills me with so much joy, but I kind of want to wait. I want to wait until autumn, but I know because I have a proof of it, I'm undoubtedly going to read it before July just because I'm so excited and I would love to get my review up. But do I want to read it in May? I'm not sure. We also have This Monster of Mine by Shalini Abisikara. I'm so sorry if I butchered that name. This is a recent Fairy Loot copy. It is actually stunning. Like this, I want that tattooed on my body. I don't know anything about this. All I know is that it's a romantasy, and obviously I've been really in my fantasy, especially my romantasy era this year, which is still filling me with so much joy. Of course, too does have some gorgeous foiling, so that's an option. One that I am so excited to get get to, I feel like that is just going to completely fall apart. It's Silver Cloak by L.K. Stephen, and actually looking at it, it definitely has some foiling. Like, look at that. This is the same author as Our Infinite Fates, which we know I read recently in a 24-hour readathon, and I absolutely adored it. And this is the proof of her newest release coming out in July also. All I really know about this one is that it's her adult fantasy debut, and I believe it is set at like an academy or like a school setting, and I love an academy school setting in a fantasy book. Honestly, just ever since I finished Our Infinite Fates, I cannot get it out of my brain, and I am so excited to read this. So maybe, even though this one also comes out in July, maybe I'll go for Silver Cloak, solely because I am so excited, and it's just so gorgeous, and I feel like I'm absolutely gonna love it. So I think maybe we'll just go for Silver Cloak for a foiled cover. I can't wait. I honestly feel like I could just happily sit here and binge read it right now and not even wait really until the beginning of May. But yeah, let's just go for Silver Cloak. I'm so excited for this one. We're only on the 4th prompt, and this TBR for me is perfect already. I could happily end the video here and be so happy with this TBR, but let's see what the 4th book we're gonna read is. Let's go for this prompt. Oh fuck, that's a big one. Here is the prompt. It is beginning with the. Okay, that's kind of easy. Straight off at the bat, we have the Safekeep, which I'm not gonna lie, this is going too easy because I also want to get to this in May. But just in case, we have the Safekeep, we have The Wall by Marlon Hoscheffer, we have The Husbands by Holly Gramazio, The Book of Disquiet by Fernanda Pessoa, which is another one I desperately really want to get to soon. Oh, and we have The Poetics of Space, which is a non-fiction that I'm really excited about. So we do definitely have option for this prompt. Obviously, I'm so excited to get to absolutely all of these, but I feel like the one book that I've really been gravitating towards recently, and I feel like is likely going to become my Patreon book club book of the month, The Safekeep by Yael van der Wooden. Again, I feel like I'm absolutely butchering that name, apologies. I have been so excited to read this book for such a long time, and it has now been shortlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction, I believe, and I'm so excited. At the time of filming this, I actually don't know what my May Patreon book club book is going to be, but I have a sneaky suspicion that this is going to win because I know quite a few of us have been excited to read it. I know absolutely nothing about this, but I feel like this is the kind of book where I want to go into knowing as little as possible and just fall in love with it. This is a 5-star prediction based off of other people's reviews. At the very end of the synopsis, somebody has blurbed it as a strange, dreamlike and troubling book as haunting as the history it examines. Yael van der Wooden is an extraordinary, powerful writer. It's hard to believe this can be her first book. I'm just so excited. And like I said, as much as I'm so excited to get to all of these, I feel like a few of these I'm going to want to pick up in May anyway, but this one I feel like I'm going to have to read. When I tell you I've been fighting for my life to get this on every single TBR since the beginning of the year, I'm so excited to read it. Let's go for The Safekeep. Okay, so far we have a historical / literary fiction, an adult fantasy, and then like 2 books that are romance but also fiction. I'm so excited for this TBR, oh my god. For the 5th prompt, let's go for this one. Oh, okay, we'll go for that one. Here is the prompt. It is a Booktuber favourite. Oh my god. Wait, hang on. The only one that instantly comes to mind is City of Gods and Monsters by Kayla Edwards. I can't think of one singular Booktuber who like is obsessed with it. I know just so many people love it. I'm fairly certain that Destiny kind of liked it. I feel like Mariana and Larry liked it. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like they did. Regardless, I feel like so many Booktubers who I watch, and I'm sure that you guys also watch, have adored this. Please let me know if anyone specifically comes to mind, because I feel like there is someone that I just can't pinpoint. This is a fantasy series that I've been wanting to start so badly recently. I don't know anything about it other than it's a series that involves supernatural creatures. I've definitely learned since exploring fantasy since the beginning of the year, but also prior, how I really do enjoy fantasies that include supernatural beings, especially vampires. I'm a vampire fantasy babe. Now obviously I don't really know too much about this, I'm not gonna lie. I am going into this one very blind, but it's one that I've just been so excited for, and I'm really looking forward to just falling in love with another fantasy series, hopefully. Ever since I finished Heat of the Everflame and I'm now caught up with the Kindred's Curse saga by Penco, I desperately need another series to fall in love with and to just hyperfixate on. Definitely feel like there's a hole in my life since catching up with that series, and hopefully this can be the one to fill it. I just don't know. It's obviously, look at how big it is. I'm terrified, but it is also on Kindle Unlimited, so I can always read it on my Kindle. Honestly, let's just go for City of Gods and Monsters, because out of everything else on my TBR cart, I actually can't think of a single Booktuber that comes to mind for any of them other than this one. So this is the one we're gonna have to go for regardless, but I'm actually super excited about that. Really am holding out hope that this is gonna be a series I'm gonna become obsessed with. Let's fingers crossed. I'm either gonna love it or I feel like I'm absolutely gonna hate it. Let's hope I fall on the side of loving it. Definitely building up range on the TBR. The 6th prompt, let's go for this one. Here is the prompt. It is a person on the cover. I so could have done Conditions of Will for that. Okay, person on the cover. Oh my god, hang on, wait. We definitely could do Good Girl by Aria Aber. This is another book that I'm dying to get to and I would really like to read either in May or June. This one is another one that I believe has been shortlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction this year. Simultaneously, another one that I know absolutely nothing about, but based on people's reviews that I have seen, I feel like it's one that I will really love and could potentially be a 5-star. I don't know why, I always feel like that with the Women's Prize for Fiction, and especially the Booker Prize and the International Booker Prize. I suppose that's the whole point of having those awards. This year specifically, with the International Booker Prize shortlist and the Women's Prize for Fiction shortlist, I feel like there are so many 5-star predictions for me, so we could do that one. We could also, okay, scrap what I just said, I think I'm gonna read this. We could also do Written on the Body by Jeanette Winterson, another one that I've been looking for absolutely any excuse to get to. I loved Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit by Jeanette Winterson, but more recently I read Sexing the Cherry and I didn't really like that as much, but this one is a 5-star prediction. If I don't rate this 5 stars, I'm questioning my reading taste. I've just heard the absolute best things about this, and one of my best friends also absolutely adored it, and obviously there's a person on the cover and it's fairly short, so it could be good to add to the TBR. That's definitely an option. I'm just gonna see just in case if there's anything else we could read. Oh my god, wait, there's actually so many. Wait, what? Okay, this is actually kind of freaky. Guys, look at how many I could choose from. All of these have people on the cover. I thought that was gonna be a niche prompt. Okay, we're talking illustrated people. Obviously we have these. Wait, even these two here. Okay, literally essentially every single book on this TBR card essentially has a person on the cover. I think I should just stick to my guns and I'm just gonna go for Written on the Body by Jeanette Winterson, just because it's the one that I felt the most excited for at the potential of me reading it. This prompt essentially feels like a free pick from any of the books on my TBR card. I feel like this is probably gonna be one of the first ones that I read in May. Okay, we're now on to the final prompt. Let's go for this one here. Here is the prompt. It says friend pick. Oh my god, okay, I love that. Okay, I think I'm gonna pick out of 3 or 4 books, take a picture, send it to my best friend's group chat with Daisy and Mailer. They are both currently at work, so I don't know when they're gonna reply / who's gonna reply quicker, but whoever is the first to reply, I will go for that one. What's even funnier about this is that out of every single book I literally own on every single one of my shelves, Mailer would have picked Written on the Body, so such is life. Books that I could pick between, okay, let's add The Book of Disquiet, just because I feel like someone's gonna have to pull me by the ear to actually read this book, because it's been on my TBR, or my radar rather, for so many years and I'm terrified to read it, but it is one that I feel like I will fall in love with and could potentially be a 5-star, so if they pick that, then fate's deciding, I suppose. Let's also add A House at the Bottom of a Lake by Josh Malerman. I'm trying to be strategic in what I'm picking, solely because I know there are certain books on here that they will 100% pick, but I want every book to have a fair chance. We'll also add Good Girl, and then the last one can be, let's add another fantasy. We'll also add Arcana Academy by Elise Cover. This is a proof copy. It does come out I believe in July, so we'll go for these 4. I'm gonna take a quick photo and send it to them. Hopefully it won't take too long for them to reply so I can show you guys what they do pick. Honestly, because neither of them have read any of these and I also haven't spoken to either of them about any of these books and my interest in reading them, I don't know what could be picked. Okay, let's take the photo and I'm gonna send it to them. Why am I nervous? I'm just gonna put, which book should I add to my May TBR? TBR jar got friend pick, and okay, I've sent it. Let's just see. Why am I nervous? Okay, because that was the last pick and obviously I now have to wait to see what they reply. I don't know if they're even going to reply in the time it takes me to pick one more prompt, but for the meantime, let's pick one more prompt. The actual final prompt and the 8th book adding to my TBR. Let's go for, oh my god, I've just seen Daisy's replied. Okay, I'm not going to look at what it is yet. I'm literally going to lock my phone. Okay, we'll check what her response was after. The 8th prompt, we'll go for this one. This one is a long one. Oh my god, okay. Here is the prompt and it is ends on even wait, what? Can I even speak English? Ends on an even page number. Okay, this one's always a fun one because it does sometimes feel like a free pick. Do I still really want to get to? To be honest, I would love to get to Ghost Wall by Sarah Moss. This one has 149 pages. Never mind. How about Alone With You in the Ether by Olivia Blake? One that honestly, again, has been on 1,000,001 TBRs, but I would just finally love to get to it. It's been so long. This one has 262. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna go for Alone With You in the Ether. I can't believe I'm actually gonna get around to reading this. It has been on my TBR for so long. I've only read one Olivia Blake before, which was One for My Enemy, and I loved that one. This one gives off a very different vibe. So the 8th, technically the 7th prompt, but we don't know what that one's gonna be yet. The 8th book that I'm adding to my TBR is Alone With You in the Ether. Okay, let's look at what Daisy chose. I'm pretty sure Daisy was the one that replied first. Arcana Academy. It's a heavy fantasy TBR month, but do you know what? I actually really don't mind that. I'm so excited to read Arcana Academy, and again, it's a proof. So I'm ticking off some of my arcs and some newer releases. I'm so excited. Again, all I know about this one, like, I think it was Silvercloak, is that obviously it's a fantasy and we're set in an academy setting, and we know I love those. Oh my god, the amount of fantasy I'm reading this month. I kind of love that for myself. So here are the 8 books that I will be reading in May. Not only is it quite a fantasy heavy TBR, which I love, but why does it feel like all of these books are so long? As always, if you have read any of these books, whether you like them or you dislike them, please let me know. If you would like to see me read any of them in reading vlogs or anything like that, also please feel free to let me know. I would also love to know of any books that you would like to get to in May. What are some books that you want to finish in spring / the beginning of summer? Or if you watched until the very end of the video and you want to show you stayed until the end, comment any fantasy inspired emoji. I feel like that's very fitting. As always too, if you did enjoy this video and you are not yet subscribed, it would mean the world to have you here. And yeah guys, thank you so much for watching and for spending some time with me. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again very soon with another video.